I don't have a lot of speechiness to give here. We've played this game before. I remember it sucking for various reasons, which we will discuss as we go through. In order to properly play this game, every time I launch this game, I'm going to have to use the mod support in order to make sure to log in here and launch the mod, which we've now done ostensibly. Let's make absolutely sure that the mod is actually loaded. Because we're not playing this without this mod. Period. Okay, cool. Mod is on. We're good. We're good. I know you can't see it. I had to make sure the mod was on first. The mod is all. The mod knows all and sees all. It's Homeworld 2, right? This is an interesting one. For some reason, it's offset by just a bit. That's very strange. So you're probably wondering what mod? Well, you may or may not notice there's already 8 negatives to gameplay before we even start the game. So this game has a concept called dynamic difficulty, which you've heard the concept before, but you've never heard it quite like this. This is one of the worst dynamic difficulties I've ever seen in gaming. Which is why it's 8 negatives. Honestly, I've been debating pushing that up to 9. Because yeah. So okay. Every time, this is from the original Homeworld 2. There's actually worse than this in the remaster, but we'll get to that in a minute. So in the original Homeworld 2, every time when you load up a new mission, when you spill up a new mission, it checks for two things. It checks for how many ships you have in your fleet, and then it checks what specific ships you have in your fleet, what ship composition. And it says, okay, and then it adjusts the fleet that loads into that new mission, as well as some reinforcements in that mission, based on that. So the bigger your fleet, the bigger the enemy forces, and it will know which forces to put in specifically to counter your ships. The enemy you're fighting for the overwhelming majority of this game is called the Vaguer, because they're very vague in their motivations. That's not a joke. And their whole modus operandi for their units is that they are very, very specialized, which means they suck at most things, but they're really good at one thing. So they know which units to fling at you in order to deal with your specific unit composition. So that sucks, right? This makes this whole game terrible. Just to be as blunt as I possibly can. It is this giant weight over the... In fact, I've mentioned this story before. When this game first came out, back in early aughts, I sat down and I played it, and I honestly thought maybe the game was bugged, or maybe there was something wrong with it, because I just could not get through it. I actually didn't beat this game when it came out, because I couldn't. I just kept running into gigantic wall of death after gigantic wall of death. And I could not push through the enemy fleets at a certain point. I just started getting ground down. And finally I walked away. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. It wasn't until years later that I went back and tried a second time, at which point I failed again to get through the game. I should mention I have never beaten this game without modding out this dynamic difficulty. Not once. Now, I should probably mention I have never tried since I know the dynamic difficulty exists. Because there is an asterisk. There's a band-aid you can use without modding. We're using a mod to just get rid of it. But there's a band-aid, right? And what it is you have to know the mission you're walking into, as well as the mission you're currently in, by heart. You have to know exactly when the end trigger is. That's important. Because whenever a mission ends, the second it ends, all of your ships are dumped into your fleet, and you warp to the next mission. No chance to redo your ship composition. No chance to adjust your fleet. No chance to do anything. There's no pause period. There's no breather section, right? And that's important to mention, the lack of breather section, because you have no chance to do what I'm about to tell you to do unless you already know it's coming. So, yeah, no emergency jumps either. What you have to do is you have to know that you're about to finish the mission, and then go recycle your fleet. Just recycle pretty much your entire fleet. Just pull it down and say, yeah, I'm good. And then once you've done so, you start the next mission, immediately start constructing the fleet you're going to need for this new mission, and then go do the mission and then recycle your fleet and rinse and repeat. And that's how you bypass the dynamic difficulty problem. For those of you who don't remember the last time we streamed this, I showed off what happens if you really min-max your fleet and get just this gigantic fleet of doom, and the enemy forces are absolutely stupid in terms of how gargantuanly huge they are. Either way, this, like I said, this is a gigantic anchor around the neck of the entire game. It also affects a few other things. We'll jot down a couple other additional negatives there. But point being, it sucks. So we're getting rid of all that. Moving on. So let's go to the main menu here. Nope, not that. The main menu. Oh, actually, hang on, what's that? Is that? Okay, good. Now, I should probably mention one other thing. Several people have asked how I could play Homeworld 2 first and not really feel like I miss anything. Frankly, this game is so disconnected from the previous 3 games that if this was a different franchise entirely, I don't think it would even matter. They tried to reinvent the mythos as well as the setting with Homeworld 2 and changed it in several substantial ways, which, to be clear, I am not a fan of. And in the doing, this isn't Homeworld. I'm just going to say that as bluntly as I can. I don't mean that as like a derogatory. I mean that as a statement of fact. This is not a Homeworld game. It's another game that's wearing Homeworld's skin. We even know a bit of this from the behind the scenes. Several of the people who actually worked on several previous Homeworld games did work on this game, but they were trying to launch it into something new entirely. And that kind of caused some issues because at this point in time, the rights to the Homeworld franchise were being bounced around by a company we actually talked a lot about recently, Vivendi. Because Vivendi owned Sierra, and Sierra owned Relic. Relic made this game. And that is exactly as much of a mess as it sounds. In fact, that would run into a 3-way fight between companies, all trying to take ownership over Relic and the Homeworld franchise, along with several other IPs that they were working on. Until finally they ended up under Gearbox, which led to Homeworld 3. We'll get to that one. Anyways. So, new campaign, please. So Homeworld 1 was a journey. And then Homeworld 2, Homeworld Cataclysm was a horror story. And Deserts of Karak is a tragedy. So what's Homeworld 2? Well, this is a war story. With a lot of magic involved for some reason. Don't worry, the magic thing gets worse in Homeworld 3.
In the first time, the great hyperspace core was found. With it came the gift of interstellar travel, and the Outer Rim trade routes were established, uniting the galaxy in peace. Thousand years passed before the second core was discovered on a desert planet. Pain and bloodshed flowed in its wake. But the exiles returned to their homeworld, Higara. A young woman led them across the galaxy, and it is she who will lead them again. Her name is Karen Sajet. This is the story of the end time. We know this because the third core has been found. Under the dark influence of this core, the Taidan have risen under a new leader, a Vagar warrior lord named Makan. He calls himself The Seljuk-Car, the chosen one. Many systems have already fallen under his shadow, and his eyes are set upon Higara. Deep inside the great derelict at Tanis, construction of a new mothership is underway. The pride of Higara. Once more, the exiles will face the coming darkness.
This is Fleet Command. Stand by for hyperspace core transfer.
Containment unit online. All power signatures in the green. Primary couplings released.
Trajectory is good. The hyperspace core is away.
Whether this game is older than the Legend of Spyro series we just played.
This is Tanis Control. We have visual contact with the core. Proceed with transfer.
Trajectory and alignment confirmed. Take it to 115 and initiate capture procedures. Mothership recognizes the core and confirms signal lock.
Fleet Command online. Mothership status report. Engineering online. Stand by to initiate engine sequence. Main engines online. Engine test complete. All standard drives are operational. Navigation online. The mothership is standing by.
Destination canceled.
This is Fleet Intelligence. Our task is to analyze sensor data and generate mission objectives. Before launching the mothership, we must conduct a series of trials to ensure all critical systems are operational. Throughout these trials, the mothership will be running with a minimal crew and will remain docked with Tanis. Once these trials are complete, we will launch the mothership and test the hyperspace core. The first trial will test the resourcing system. A resource collector is standing by. Begin retrieval of resource containers at this location.
Okay, there. Jeez Louise. Thank you, Kenix Cow, for the subs. Always appreciate you. Give me a second. Jot those down. Let's see. For Jack Block. Let's see. And then Grim Fandango and Pocopia. Someone already killed my bot. Oh my god. Okay, hang on. Hey, Izmira Star. I hope you're doing as well as you can be right now. I will put that towards Fallout Vegas, Cyberpunk, and Satisfactory. There. Damn it, Aspira, killing my bot. All right. So allow me to agree with Von Falkenstein. So I actively dislike the story of this game. Like, actively dislike the story of this game. To the point where it's probably going to be quite a few negatives on the content side of things. But the presentation of that story is excellent. Because, of course, it is. Let's see. I really wish it wouldn't alt and mute when I alt tab. Can I fix that? Probably not. Oh, hey, we could disable end lips, which we have, obviously. Anything here I can disable? No. Maybe over here. Nope. Damn. That sucks. Alright, whatever. Yeah, then there's Homeworld 3, which just takes all that presentation and throws it out the window. Anyways, let's jot down music while we're here. I should probably admit, speaking of ship designs, that Homeworld 2 is probably my favorite ship designs in all of fiction. Just in general, right? Like, I'd say Star Wars, but Star Wars is a pretty broad net. Well, I love me a good Star Destroyer. Homeworld 2's ships look really freaking good. Like, really, 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 really good. I love them. I love them to death. Bigger battle cruisers are amazing. The Higaran, I believe it's the carrier. Suppose I can just look. Homeworld 2 capital ships. Hang on, let's look at our big boys here really quick. No. Let's see. Battle cruisers, heavy cruisers, carriers, and destroyers. What do we got? What do we got? So the destroyer, yep. So I do like the destroyer, the Higaran destroyer. That's fine, but there's a better ship. I know. Then there's I love that battle cruiser. The Higaran battle cruiser is just poetry, and so is the Vader one, obviously. Heavy cruisers, fine, I suppose. Oh, that's the one from Cataclysm. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore me. But the carrier, I swear the carrier is the one. I'm trying to find an image of this stupid thing. Here we go. Yeah, there it is. Look at that beauty. Look at that. And you're all like, we can't see it. Yeah, I know. All right. Let's see. So we have voice acting and artwork. We're going to put this under banter. Put a question mark there. See how good that is. So, right. Actually, there is something wrong. The textures are wrong. But, like, there's no texture options. There's just, like, post-processing crap. So why are my textures wrong? Like, this is blurry as hell. Look at that. That should not look like that. Do you see that? Why does that look so blurry? I noticed it during the cutscene, too. Why does the game look so blurry? What am I doing wrong? Okay, hold up. Apparently this is a known issue. So this is a good time I need to mention. This game actually launched with quite a few issues. And then a whole bunch of people did a whole bunch of dedicated work into making it a whole lot better. Texture quality, very low. What? Why? We'll put VSync on while we're here. Texture limit is cranked. Yep, okay. Okay, that's... Anyways, that's a known issue, is it'll keep resetting the texture quality to minimum because it's dumb. The game launched with a bunch of issues. And when I say the game, I want to be very specific. The remaster, the version of the game we're playing, launched with a bunch of issues. Come on. Oh, that's better. That's better. Jesus Christ. I thought there was something wrong with me. Like, I thought I was having a stroke or something. Christ. A very dedicated group of people, mostly fans and some of the developers who worked on the remaster, kept patching the game for a while until finally they, had to stop and move on to other things. So if you're wondering, well, how do I patch the game up to acceptability? There's something, I wrote it down. It's called I swear I wrote it down. I swear I wrote it down. Maybe I didn't. Am I stupid? Am I dumb? Did I not write it down? Oh, no, they're right. Homeworld Remastered 2.3 Players Patch. That's the full name of it. You can find it on Steam's Workshop. You can find it just on ModDB. And that is the continuation of all the patching and fixing and all of that they were already doing. And I highly recommend that mod. We are not playing with that mod because we are reviewing the game. But if you're going to play this game normally, I 100% recommend picking up that mod because it essentially finishes up the game. And yeah, thanks Gearbox. Thanks. Okay, so now that we have a situation where we're not, dying, is it... Nope. Oh, God, I gotta remember controls here. Nope.
Salvage target acquired.
Resourcing systems fully operational. Trial successful.
Stop muting. No. Oh, whatever.
We will now test the mothership's production capabilities. Begin construction of a fighter facility subsystem.
Subsystems are one of the few things I think Homeworld 2 did a good job with, for reasons we'll talk about more when we get into capital combat.
Production underway.
So yeah, you see all this debris in the distance? All of that's part of the skybox because they couldn't figure out how to get that in the game. And it was a huge wish list item for the developers. They really wanted to have superstructures in the game. They wanted it so badly that when they finally started working on Homeworld 3, and it was some of the same developers working on Homeworld 3, they made superstructures absolutely everywhere. To the point where I believe every Homeworld 3 mission has some kind of superstructure going on. But, we got a pretty skybox. It's cool. It's cool.
Mothership fighter facility complete. Fighter facility subsystem complete. Engineering is online and ready for fighter production.
To test basic combat capabilities, construct an interceptor squadron.
Production underway.
So, one of the big differences from Homeworld 2 versus the previous Homeworld games, high warp core, by the way, is that you don't build a fighter, and you don't build 15 fighters, you build a fighter squadron. And then the whole fighter squadron does its whole thing. That actually, believe it or not, caused some huge issues when making this remaster. Because the engine wasn't designed around aspects of gameplay that existed in the original game. And so certain aspects of the original game kind of broke.
Interceptor Squadron complete.
Stand by to begin combat trials.
Reporting.
Perimeter Station Chimera will assist by providing target drones. The drones are located here.
Course set.
Use the interceptors to destroy the target drones.
Strike group, prepare for assault.
Group 1 copies.
There were issues with physics calculations, too. Because Homeworld 2 cheated a little bit on how it did its combat. Whereas in Homeworld 1, it was a pure physics calculation. What I mean by that is they would launch a projectile, and if the projectile hit something, then it would do damage to that thing, right? But Homeworld 2 wasn't programmed that way. So when they made the remaster, which was supposed to be Homeworld, in Homeworld 2's engine, they started running into issues because ships just weren't working correctly in some cases.
Attention, Tannis Control. This is Perimeter Station Chimera. We have multiple unidentified units detected. Signal indicates Vager bomber strike force. This is a scramble alert. All pilots to their stations.
Chimera base. This is Blue Leader. Enemy units locked in. Awaiting orders.
Tannis is under attack. All forces to combat alert. This is not a test. Interceptors have been launched from Chimera. The enemy must be eliminated. Order all interceptors to destroy the Vager bombers.
Strike group moving into position. Dock order confirmed. Strike
Dock,
group
don't
attack
dock.
order confirmed.
True, Brad Doroff.
Group 1 standing by. Group 1 copies. Show no mercy. Group 2 reporting. Group 1, weapons set to full power.
Production underway. Group 1 has defeated the enemy.
Chimera's station is offline. The Vager have breached the Tannis perimeter.
The mothership is under attack. We cannot stay here any longer. Emergency launch underway.
These crews, stand by for emergency launch.
Roger that, Tannis. Primary couplings released.
Direction's looking good. Green line, confirmed.
The mothership has cleared Tannis. We are away.
Multiple enemy reinforcements detected. Estimated time before contact, 2 minutes. Begin construction of attack bombers immediately. Bombers will be required to defend the mothership.
Resources exhausted.
Vader ships. Look at them, I mean. It's because 2 just isn't as memorable, Rakusu.
Underway.
So, someone asked, what's the distinction between, you know, the mothership there and something like a Star Destroyer? So,
Mothership is receiving light fire.
believe it or not, the mothership is kind of like a more realistic Star Destroyer. In terms of ship classification, something like a Star Destroyer is actually what we call a base star, which comes from the series I can't think of the name of, with Cylons and like Battlestar Galactica. I think of Battlestar. Sorry, I don't know why I said base star. I meant Battlestar. Base star is a different thing. But the Battlestar concept, the Battlestar trope, refers to any large-scale ship that is kind of a do-it-all. It is a... it has its own squadrons, its own fighter screen, so it's a carrier. It's usually got some kind of troop escort, and it can fight on its own. So a Battlestar is kind of a catch-all. It's the sort of ship you only really see in fiction, because Battlestars are stupid when you think about it, but I don't want to get into that. So a Star Destroyer is a Battlestar, right? By contrast, something like the Homeworld ship, the mothership, is more like a flying factory. And that's its primary point of distinction. It can produce troops. It can produce ships and man them and get them going and all sorts of other fun stuff like that. But it doesn't really have what you'd call a fairly large amount of defenses or ability to operate on its own. I'm sorry, this is very loud. Can I just turn down everything? Let's just turn everything down. Jesus Christ, this is so loud. That did not change the audio at all. What? Why is this still loud? Okay, is that better now?
Group 1 standing by.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to count. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Let's do this. Maybe it'll, like, take into account then.
Group 1.
Okay. Audio rebalanced. Good lord. Where's my bombers?
Bomber squadron complete.
I'm still working on them.
The mothership is under light attack.
Supporting friendly units.
Drawing heavy fire.
Group 1. Taking damage, please. Group
Mothership. Group 1 reports victory.
2. Standing by. Group 2 copies. Docking with mothership. Group 1 standing by. Docking with mothership.
Like, honestly, until this game, the mothership couldn't even move.
Are using hyperspace gates.
Standing by.
If they're
Whoops.
Strike group to battle position.
Not me to skip that, but, you know, whatever. Oh yeah, we got some cultural significant stuff going on, too, obviously.
Group 1 standing by. Strike group prepare for assault. Show no mercy. Group 2 copies. Group 2.
Mothership.
Friendlies under fire. Moving in.
Group 2 reinforced.
So yeah, this is the tone of the entire campaign, by the way. It's a war story. We start off on the back foot. That's it. That's pretty much the plot in a nutshell. Except for vague mysticism and ancient prophecies and magic. We'll get there.
Supporting friendly units. Group 2.
gate destroyed. Destroy all the remaining hyperspace gates.
Working on it.
Group 1. Strike group attack order confirmed.
Good morning, Blake Duvall. I mean, the music feels very Dune-coded, if nothing else, right?
Group 2 reporting.
Mothership.
She's out.
Group 2 standing by.
Mothership.
Enemy neutralized. Awaiting order.
Long-range
Group 2
sensors have detected
reinforced.
multiple enemy signals converging on Tanis. All ships initiate docking procedures and stand by for hyperspace.
Yeah, so the Vagar got wind of the fact that we're launching a ship. They launch a surprise attack, and they're here to kill us all. Like you do. There's one of the big boy ships.
Emergency hyperspace procedures initiated. The mothership must survive.
And we leave behind everyone else to die. Mission successful. And let that be our tone setter.
Tanis base has been destroyed. The Vagar have launched a massive invasion. Higaran outposts are falling all across the inner rim. The crew of the mothership is making an emergency departure, and planetary defense systems are standing by. Before we can mount a counterattack, we must rendezvous with the mothership's crew. We will exit hyperspace in the shadow of the Angel Moon. A rally point has been established at this location. Prepare for enemy contact.
So, I don't know how to put this into words, but I'm not the only one who doesn't feel that,
The
right?
mothership is on its way. We're going to make it.
No, I didn't, Kenixco. God damn it!
Bishop 1 to all transports.
Just-
Report status.
I almost didn't stream this morning because I was so tired and so barely with it. But I was like, no,
Standing by.
I must stream. And then I'm this close to just cutting off stream because my brain is just not working today.
We've taken some hits. All gets down. We'll be all right.
Dude, Spyro broke me.
Bishop 4 standing by.
I've lost hope for the future. Like, things aren't getting better.
Bishop 6 reporting unidentified contacts. Get ready for company.
May I pause the game, please? Okay, thank you. So, I don't feel the emotion the mission should imply. Let's talk about what just happened in a vacuum. So, we've discovered, there's this warlord who has unified a bunch of people out in the Outer Rim, and he is charging a war of conquest inwards towards us. So we decide to go ahead and get the mothership core, the hyperspace core, which is important because it's a magic MacGuffin, onto our ship. Okay, cool. We're doing our initial tests, and in the middle of basic testing, a random Vagar assault strike force happens to notice us just because they're attacking everywhere simultaneously. So they weren't there for us, if that makes any sense. They were just there to hit everywhere, and they happened to stumble into us. So we have to do an emergency escape just to escape, and we barely do, and everyone behind us is dead. The end. And it's just, I feel nothing. I feel nothing at what should be a big emotional plot beat. And I'm sorry to do the direct comparison, but picture any of the major moments from Homeworld 1 or Homeworld Cataclysm as a direct contrast, right? I don't know how else to put that. I feel nothing. Like, the overall cutscene design is still there. They're really bad games, JKR. If you go to lorerunner.com right now, you'll notice that they got a negative 444, a negative 460, and a negative 115 back to back. Deserts of Karak, I agree. Deserts of Karak also had some very powerful story beats. You'll notice I put all three of the good story homeworlds as a bundle, right? One, Deserts, and Cataclysm all are pretty solid on the narrative axis, regardless of having some issues on the gameplay axis. And then 2 is just vacuous. Like someone in chat mentioned earlier, nobody remembers 2. Nobody remembers 2's story. Because it's just... there. Like, if I could tell you the whole plot right now, because it's so pointless. So it turns out that there's a prophecy. There you go. That's all you need to know right there. I'm dead serious. There's your plot. There's a prophecy. Yeah, you remember how Homeworld 1's pacing was basically perfect? No, like just basically perfect the whole way through. I hate to overpraise a game that we will be playing later. I don't want to like lead up to this, but like, you know, okay, tutorial mission. Okay, we're gonna do our first jump, sense of wonderment. Oh my god, aliens exist! Okay, let's deal with this. Okay, we'll do some interrogation. We need to get back to the homeworld. We need to go as quickly as we can. And we go back and you know what happens. And then it's just like, okay. What? And then they give us a breather right after that. And then they build it up again and they give us a breather. And those breathers aren't even always the same. Sometimes those breathers are tension. Like the sun mission, as we're going through the radiation cloud of hell. That's actually a breather mission. It's just a tension mission. How about when the asteroids are coming, you know? Like, there's pacing. There's structure to how the narrative goes. And so just, all right, let's start. Oh my god, the Vagar are here. The Vagar. And I think that's part of the other problem is, who the hell are the Vagar? Anybody in chat right now, tell me about the Vagar. Tell me about them. Lie to me. Lie to me about the Vagar. You see, I'll go ahead and tell you, the Vagar are the bad guys. That's it. There is nothing else there. There is nothing else there. They randomly mention that some of them are built of, some of the New Empire are built out of the Titan remnants. But that's not even 100% the truth, because as they mentioned, even in the intro, if you're paying attention, Makan himself was a member of the Vagar Marauders, the Vagar clans, who absorbed chunks of the Titan remnants. So who the hell are the Vagar? Space Mongols? You don't know. Nobody knows, and that's my point. We're not fighting anybody. We're fighting zombies. And except it's not even that good. There's no impetus for who we're fighting. It's just a bunch of bad guys. Why are they fighting us? Well, because it's a war story, okay? They're the bad guys, and we're the good guys, and we're fighting the bad guys. That's it. Stop questioning. Okay? This is Warcraft 1 levels of storytelling. Sorry. I'm getting a little facetious. I apologize. It's just... all right. Put some question marks here. Put some question marks here. And get back into it.
Hyperspace jump successful. The core is operating at full capacity. We made it.
We have reached the Hagaran system. Vagar forces are being reported in all sectors. They will know we have arrived.
Hold on. I know this is going to sound like a very strange, pedantic thing to complain about. But did you hear that line she just said with that slight bit of surprise in her voice? We made it. That is a member berries, believe it or not. I know that probably sounds like nonsense to anybody who hasn't played this series, but the "we made it" line was actually a fairly substantial and significant line in the first game. It was a character beat as well as a plot beat, and it led to one of the first major story arcs of the first game. And then here it's just, we made it. Like they're just aping it, right? And this goes to what Spartan just mentioned in chat, that they're really trying very hard to just kind of repeat the plot beats from 1 without any understanding of what that freaking means.
6 crew transports are inbound to dock with the mothership. A Vader carrier has been detected in the area. The transports are under attack and require immediate assistance. At least 4 transports must dock with the mothership to meet minimum crew requirements.
Okay, well, there's our mission objective.
Strike group prepare for assault.
Where's...
Mothership.
Reporting.
There you go, harvest.
Collection confirmed.
Recommend construction of additional resource collectors to increase harvesting efficiency.
I would if you'd let me. You gonna let me? For real, are you gonna let me? You are not. Okay. Okay, that's confusing. Alright, cool.
Production underway.
Group 1 reporting. Group 2 reporting.
I mean, look at that ship. That is so cool looking.
Group 2 copies. Subsystem target
So I
acquired.
mentioned one of the cool things in this game, and that is subsystems. Similar to Empire at War, thank you, Warp Core, for the reminder. You can specifically target subsystems, and that can change how the battle can go. For example, right now, I've got my bombers coming in specifically attacking their fighter facility.
Ship 1 is safe.
Group 1 reporting. Strike group, prepare for assault.
The Vader carrier is launching reinforcements. Use bombers to destroy the carrier's fighter facility.
Done.
This will prevent it from sending further reinforcements.
Resource collector complete. Mothership.
Acknowledged. Collection confirmed. Group 2 reporting. Group 1 reporting. Group 2 copies.
Vader fighter facility destroyed. The carrier can no longer build reinforcements.
Production underway.
Group 1 standing by. Group 2. Group 1 reporting.
I thought you did, von Falkenstein.
Group 2
Oh,
standing
doesn't
by.
matter, I suppose.
Light fire confirmed. Group 1.
Come on. Shoot more accurately, please.
Hyperspace signature detected.
Oh, now what?
The Vader are using frigates to attack the transport.
Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? Hello.
Some appear to be equipped with heavy anti-fighter weaponry. Receiving transmission from
Group 1
Hagaran
standing
defense
by.
grid. Allied forces are arriving.
Where's the... No, you're right.
This is Captain
I was flipping it, von Falkenstein.
Farron Shaw. Looks like you could use a hand.
In my
Attention
case.
all Sobani. Pick your targets and engage.
Alright, hold up. What do we got? Oh, I don't even have control over them.
Captain Soban, we should be able to save the rest of the transports.
Speaking of which, how are we doing? Oh, we've almost got their carrier, speaking of which.
Subsystem and engineering personnel transferring.
The mothership now has additional construction
Goodbye.
capabilities.
I don't want to watch this.
Available for construction.
I want to watch it. I want to see it.
Threat eliminated. Transport Bishop 3 is safe.
Group 2.
Threat eliminated. Transport Bishop 5 is safe.
Where's...
The Vega carrier has been destroyed.
Group 2 copies. Group 1.
We're still clearing up over here.
Reporting.
Interceptor squadron complete. Group
Threat
1.
eliminated. Transport
Group
Bishop
2.
2 is safe.
Standing by. Strike group, prepare for assault. Group 1 copies. Strike group, prepare for assault. Group 1 standing by. Acknowledged. Group 2 standing by. Reporting. Group 1 reporting.
Do it. Do it, Von Falkenstein. Do all the backseating. You know you want to. You know you want to.
Group 2.
Interceptor squadron complete.
Group 2 standing by. Strike group to battle positions. Group 1 copies.
Was it really? I mean, yeah, that tracks. Give in, Von Falkenstein.
Group 1
Yes.
standing by. Copy.
Group 1 reinforced.
While we're here, let's go and get that facility going.
Threat eliminated. Transport Bishop 4 is safe.
No problem. No
The
problem.
Vega frigates have been destroyed.
Fleet, this is Captain Soban. The Homeworld system will soon be overrun by Vega forces. Their objective is to capture the mothership. You must get the Pride of Higara out of here. The enemy will follow, and in doing so, you will buy the Homeworld some time. Soban, out.
Captain Soban's mission will be to track down the location of the Vega leader. His fleet has been dispatched. He will remain in contact with us.
Group 1. Docking with mothership. Group 2 copies. Docking with mothership.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with the voice acting. By the way, the Homeworld series is known for good voice acting.
You are clear to dock.
Corvette subsystem mothership complete. Corvette facility gunship corvettes now available for construction.
These ships are effective when used against fighter-class vessels.
Yeah, I'm not a big Corvette person in these games. Not unless I have to be.
Local resources exhausted, fleet. Moving on.
I'm with the music, though. I'll give you that. I've already jotted down music. Kind of this. Over here. And now I think we wait. Yeah, I think we're just chilling now.
Group 1 standing by. Group 2 copies.
Pulsar gunships now available for construction.
Just out of
These
nowhere.
ships are effective when used against Corvette-class vessels.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure the texture got an overhaul in the remaster. Hey, DeQuack. It's Spyro, Mr. Red. You saw Spyro and you're like, you know what? Do I like Digimon? Eh.
Acknowledged.
Man, I don't hate Digimon. I don't want Digimon to die. Although... no. Digimon can live. Listen, I want you to understand from how sincere my voice acting is, just how important this situation is to me, Mr. Red. If we don't stop Sir Geoffrey Tilworth Splatsflangley, he will destroy the entire world. But don't worry, I'll die before I let that happen. Yeah, what? Oh my god. Is there a fast forward? I actually don't remember if there's a fast forward. Have you seen my wife? She's been missing for some time now. She died 3 years ago.
Roger.
Sorry, I'm debating something with my controls. That's Doc, though. I'll just replace Doc with something. V, maybe? Yeah, let's do that. Oh god, where's Doc? Doc. There we go, let's try that. That's wrong. Okay, hold up. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. Hey, mouse control is back, baby. We have mouse control. I can move the mouse at long last. Behold my power. Excuse me.
Group 1 standing by. Docking with mothership. Docking with mothership.
It's a terrible idea, but I just need to make sure this works. Come on, bring it in, boys. Oh, absolutely, X-Drive. You kidding me? Like, there's a particular variety of bad, which tends to be dull. And then there's awful, which tends to be entertaining. And then there's really good, which tends to be entertaining. And then we go into the light. Yeah. Okay, we went a little more into the light than I intended to. Listen, are we allowed Like, is it legal to stream good games? I'm glad you liked them, Mr. Red. I hope Chill Pangolin liked them. I hope Valerian liked them. I still haven't said thank yous. Oh my god, I still haven't said my shoutouts and thank yous. Kennex Cow even reminded me. Well, this list, this particular series, I'll say another series of thank yous later, because we're going to do some weird stuff. But, for now I want to say shoutouts and thank yous to the fact that I have some research options available to improve our bombers. And we might as well improve our interceptors, too, while we're at it.
Roger.
Like I would just randomly get into research. No, nothing far, I would just get into research. So, let's see. Shoutouts and thank yous to, no particular order, Bragwin. Hang on. Hold up. That was a huge list. There we go. Okay, let's put this over there so I can read it. Bragwin, Caspian, D20 Archon, Dark Day, David Walensky, Echtklug, Eric Fisher, Ethan Dowie, Floating Triangles, Frieza 2000. Game Geek 5698, Ginger Ninja 1, Glorious Barbarian, Judo Joker, Kiera White Noise, Loner, Loke the Night Reaper, Lucas Slaughter, Martin, Maverick, Mr. Red, Nitro Nick, DSR, Off the Deeper End, Pesnator, Spruce, excuse me, Scruffy Looking, Shishki, Ciela, Sierra Mike, Spartan's wife, Spinobi, TSB, Troy Haskin, Twister,
Crew transport docked.
Wenlock,
Sensor crews transferring.
Got Lucky,
Mothership sensor systems are now operating at full capacity.
040 I2, Two Minuets, Dawn, Captain Vice, Cody, Command and Conquer 2, Korgoth, Croatia, Decastus, Darch Monster, Dark Day, Deckfish, I already said Dark Day, Deckfish, Direct D, Doom David, Dream Whisperer, DZ Maven, Equalitas, Javan, Valerian Wraithwall, person who put this game on the list, which is David nothing, I don't even see a David, oh, it's David Walensky, Pillow Willow, and our majority shareholders, which include Andiddy, and that's actually it. Majority stakeholders, majority acolytes. I'm going to say majority acolytes, because that's just what keeps coming to mind. So thank you, majority acolyte and Diddy. Thank you, all of you, for making this run happen. This game was on the books for 1,747 days, and didn't even originally include all of the games we're currently going through, which is part of why it took so long. Homeworld games are not actually all that long, despite the fact that we're sitting here doing nothing right now. No, really. No, I do feel completely drained. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I've decided we're going to start the Long Dark a little early. It's next week anyways. There's no way I'm getting through anything of substance in that time. Ugh. So.
Attention fleet, we have too many collectors here. Expect delays.
Let's just do all the research, whatever, while we're just sitting here doing nothing.
There's nothing left out here.
Oh my god, game!
Upgrade complete.
This is boring! Yeah, no speeding up time that I'm aware of. And maybe there is? Hang on. Maybe I'm stupid. Well, I mean, I know I'm stupid, but you know what I mean. Yeah, okay. Yeah, No, there's a collect all resources thing, which I've actually already talked about even. And that's kind of it. And so we're just waiting. Like, this is our objective, is sit here and wait for this ship to dock with us. Hi, Zar. Like, this is...
Upgrade complete.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Homeworld 2. Yeah, this is Mission 2. I mean, there's super death ships from the progenitors. Does that count as a dragon, Mr. Red? Because sometimes it feels like them. Mission 1, Loner, obviously. Duh. Are they called dragons? No.
Resource collector awaiting orders.
This is I can't even alt tab. I can't even alt tab or it'll stall the game. Oh, hey. My dad is trying to invade upon me medically. That's always cool. I have never in my life been more tempted than to just ghost him and never talk to him ever again. Speaking of thinking about things, I've been leaning towards going ahead and pulling the trigger and vetoing Resident Evil 9.
Crew transport docked. Engine and power plant crews transferring.
Engine performance increased to normal levels.
Like, I'm not 100% on that, but I decided to try and watch at least a little bit of the giant spider scene and failed at it.
4 crew transports docked. We have met minimum crew requirements.
Yeah, it's a giant spider boss. I don't know what you want from me. It's a giant spider boss where you have to actually be paying attention very carefully to the movements of the giant spider boss, and I don't think I have that in me right now. I don't think anybody cares anyways. I'm sure Resident Evil 9 is a very good game. You don't need me to tell you that.
Crew transport docked. Elite fighter pilots transferring.
Elite bomber squadrons launching from mothership.
No, the Instagram filters, whatever at this point. I guess not really, Loner. I haven't talked about anything. I don't have a brain. There's no brain here. So yeah, I've already jotted down a potential negative for the thing Loner's mentioning, but for those who are not aware, they decided to make this big, weird, mystical mythos thing and completely retcon the entire franchise in this game. Something that would carry forward into Homeworld 3, by the way. So now there's like this ancient super hyperspace core of death, which is, let's call it what it is, it's a MacGuffin. And there's 3 of them. And the first one was found, and that created the Age of Prosperity. And the second one was found, and that just happened to be the one we took with us to Carrick, which, sure. Effort was actually made after this game, in fact, to try and make that make sense. I talked about that the last time I streamed this game, where instead of them being super ancient magical MacGuffins of Doom, they were just extremely efficient hyperspace cores. And that's it. Like, that's their shtick, right?
Locked in.
Yeah, and somehow, despite the fact that we were so on the back foot in the lead up to Carrick, in the lead up to the exile to Carrick, that, you know, some of the ships didn't even make the trip back home, and it took severe effort by the Galactic Council to even allow us exile. But no, we somehow managed to take the single most important artifact in the galaxy with us. Sure. Hi, Huthor. God, we've been standing here for like 10 minutes waiting for this to finish. This is crazy. I'm giving this another negative. This is so stupid. Yeah, on those ships, we boarded under Titan supervision. Because, you know, they were the ones exiling us.
Transport docked. Elite Corvette crews transferring.
Elite Corvette squadrons launching from Mothership.
I suppose I should save now that we're at the end of this.
Crew transports returning to base.
We cannot allow the mothership to fall into enemy hands. Coordinates set for the Serum system. There, we will regroup our forces and mount a counteroffensive. All ships, stand by for hyperspace.
You see what I mean, by the way? The moment the mission ends, we just collect all resources and then warp out. And there's no option to pause. There's no, like, hit the next mission button. Okay, so mission 3. This is not doing well so far.
Our home.
Children of Hygara, you are beaten. This sector is now under my control. Stand down and prepare for Vega occupation. I have come to claim what is mine. Return the second core, and I will spare your homeworld.
Hygara can resist the Vagar siege, but only for a limited time. The shipyard at Serum will allow us to rebuild our fleet. We must secure this asset before it falls to the Vagar. Stand by for arrival at Serum.
Makan's another one of those wasted characters, because there's some actual potential with this, you know, religious zealot who believes his own hype of being the chosen one, right?
Hyperdrive systems nominal. We have arrived at Serum in the outskirts of the Hagaran control zone.
Vagar recon elements have been identified. The shipyard is located here and is under attack. Incoming transmission.
Attention, Pride of Agar. This is Captain Elohim of the shipyard Nabal. We are sustaining heavy damage and request immediate assistance.
The shipyard must be defended. In order to do so, we must establish a forward resource operation. Engineering reports they are now able to build mobile refineries to help resourcing operations.
Strike group coordinates locked in.
New utility class ships available for construction.
Strike group attack order confirmed.
Production underway.
Resource collector awaiting orders. Roger. Collection confirmed. Standing by. Group 2. Ready.
Group 2 reinforced.
Acknowledged. Group 1 reporting. Group 2 copies. Copy.
Group 2 reinforced.
Copy. Group 1 reporting. Group 3 copies. Strike group prepare for assault. Group 1 copies. Standing by. Strike group prepare for assault.
Mobile refinery complete.
I think I am going to go lay down. I'm very sorry. I don't think... I can't engage my brain. And there's a lot to talk about here, and I'm just sitting here staring into space. Like, we could talk about the Vader expansion, we could talk about the marauding power, or how they can't possibly hold on to power, or what their specific tactic is, or why we were able to bypass that. And I can't get engage my brain. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go lay down. I'll see you guys in a minute.